when the hotel was being planned, we realized very early that we needed to be independent. Collection of rain was just simply not a feasible option. So then we resorted to desalination. We do have a well in the valley. Unfortunately, there is salt intrusion in the well. We have to desalinate the water through a process called reverse osmosis.
We have a submersible pump into the well, which has brackish water coming into it, both part fresh and part salt. And then we pump it into 2 stages of filtration, then into a storage tank. Then after the storage tank, it gets to pump back into the system via high pressure pumps through the high pressure filters, which extract the fresh water from the salt water. And normally we get a 50% recovery, 50% salt and 50% fresh water.
We then pump that up to the highest point on the property, which is about 280 feet above the valley. And that goes into a number of water tanks, cisterns, and which is gravity fed down to the resort on demand. Any last bits of stuff that might be in the water gets filtered out before it goes through the UV lights. UV lights basically take the place of chlorine. We don't use chlorine to sanitize our water here. We use ultraviolet light, and it goes directly into pipes, down into the resort, into the rooms, into the kitchen, into the restaurant, and we also use it for drinking water here. It's a natural sort of process where we collect all of the sewer at the lowest point of the property in what's called a lift station. That gets pumped up to, again, right to the back of the property, which is almost the highest part. And we run that through a series of chambers, the first one being what we call a digester, where all the solids sort of sink to the bottom and it separates stuff out of the sewer. And then it spends a few days going through 3 different beds. Traditionally they're called reed beds, but we have sort of localized them, and we've planted an assortment of plants in them to see what could actually work in this filtration process. Right now we're trying out dasheen, we have bananas, we also have bird of paradise and ginger lily. All seem to be thriving and doing well in these reed beds. The water that's left over from that goes into a pond, which is filled with water hyacinth, and those also take out a lot of nutrients and help break down the water. What's left at the end of it is clear, odorless, treated sewage water, if you like, wastewater, and that is then used on our farm.